Simon & Schuster Audio presents A Measureless Peril, America in the Fight for the Atlantic, the Longest Battle of World War II, by Richard Snow. Read by John Dossett, with an afterword by the author.
What's the matter with the Davis? Looking back on the Atlantic struggle. One hot, windy September afternoon in the early 1970s, my mother and father came home to Bronxville from a 2-week vacation in Maine. Bronxville is a town in Westchester County, half an hour north of Manhattan on what was then the Penn Central Railroad. Like countless thousands of other couples, my mother, Emma, and my father, Richard, had quit the city in the hopeful months after World War II ended to raise their infant child in a house surrounded by suburban greenery and well-nourished public schools. The beneficiary of this relocation came down to help them unload their luggage, and I was soon joined by Mr. Curcio, the superintendent of the apartment building, in the village my parents had moved into after I'd gotten out of college. Superintendent Curcio was a chatty, affable, powerfully built man. He once paused halfway up a flight of stairs to speculate with me at some length about the Mets' chances, all the time holding 2 air conditioners, one under each arm. He scooped a half-dozen suitcases out of the Chrysler, and as we headed toward the apartment, something, the weather perhaps, reminded him of having taken part in the landings on Sicily in July 1943, and he began to talk about it. "Look, I'm a wop," he said cheerfully about his Italian heritage. "But let me tell you, once those wops on the beach were shooting at me, I was 100% American. Guys begin dropping around me, and I start firing while I'm still in the water." The story continued until the suitcases were in front of the door. We all said thanks, and then my mother put a protective hand on my father's forearm. "I'm so glad," she told Mr. Curcio, "that Dick was never in action." At a little after 8:30 on the morning of April 24th, 1945, a sailor said to my father, "What's the matter with the Davis?" He meant the Frederick C. Davis, destroyer escort 136, and she looked funny, canted forward, and apparently stopped in the water. My father was watching her from the deck of another destroyer escort, the USS Nunzer, DE 150. The Davis lay a few hundred yards away, but not for long. "Jesus Christ," said someone, "she took a fish." And sure enough, although nobody aboard the Nunzer had heard the explosion, a torpedo had struck the Davis.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?